A company needed a junior analyst. They had the budget, the workload, and even posted the job. And then they never hired anyone. The work did not disappear. Reports were still delivered. Dashboards still updated. Emails still went out. Everything kept working as before. Except one thing. The job itself was gone. No layoff. No announcement. No headline. Just one less door into the workforce. And almost no one noticed. Nothing looked broken. Everything still worked. That is what makes this shift difficult to see. For years, we have heard the same story about artificial intelligence. It would replace workers. It would automate entire roles. It would trigger waves of layoffs. In some cases, it has. But a closer look shows a different pattern. The biggest change does not show up in layoffs. It shows up in hiring, more specifically in the jobs that are no longer created across industries. Companies are reducing entry-level hiring. This is no longer anecdotal. According to LinkedIn workforce data, entry-level hiring has declined since 2022. The drop is visible in tech and professional services. At the same time, data from the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics shows a gap. Job openings remain high. Hiring rates have slowed. Fewer candidates move into roles. Demand still exists. Access is tightening. Some companies now say it openly. At Klarna, the CEO stated publicly that AI tools were doing the work of 700 employees. Customer service operations were partially replaced with AI systems handling millions of requests. The result was not just layoffs. It was a structural decision to hire fewer people going forward. At IBM, leadership announced a pause in hiring for certain back-office roles. They cited AI and automation as key reasons. At Duolingo, executives described how AI scales content creation. That reduces the need for large teams doing repetitive work. These are early signals of a broader shift. Tasks that once justified entry-level hiring are now handled differently, writing reports, cleaning datasets, summarizing documents, answering routine questions, drafting emails, creating basic code. These were not advanced responsibilities. They were starting points. Now much of that work happens faster. In many cases, it happens instantly. When those tasks disappear, the reason to hire a beginner disappears. This pattern appears in research. A report by McKinsey and Company shows that many work activities are automatable. The highest share sits in routine tasks. Analysis from Goldman Sachs estimates that hundreds of millions of jobs face exposure to automation. Administrative and junior knowledge work lead that list. Research from Oxford Economics shows that automation affects early career roles the most. These roles rely on routine processes. None of these reports predict a sudden collapse. They describe a gradual reallocation of work. When work changes, hiring changes. This is not a sudden transformation. No single moment explains it. Companies did not decide overnight to stop hiring juniors. The shift is gradual. It is quiet. A team that once hired 3 junior employees now hires 1. Sometimes none. The workload remains, but teams distribute it differently. Automation handles part of it. Experienced employees absorb another part. Tools simplify the rest. The role disappears before it fully exists. To understand why this matters, look at how careers begin. Most professionals start with small tasks. They handle repetitive work. They learn through execution. That is how skills form. That is how confidence builds. That is how someone progresses. Entry-level roles were never only about output. They were part of a system. That system trained people over time. It depended on one thing: work that beginners could do. That is the work AI now absorbs. AI does not replace entire jobs at once. It replaces tasks. Break any job into tasks and a pattern appears. Junior roles contain predictable work. That work is easier to automate. So AI reduces the need to hire beginners. It removes the foundation. It removes the first step. Consider a junior data analyst. Not long ago, much of the role involved preparation, cleaning inconsistencies, writing basic queries, building simple reports, documenting results. These tasks required time and effort. They also taught core skills. Today, tools assist or accelerate much of this work. The output still needs review. It still needs interpretation. It still needs adjustment, but the time required to get there is much shorter. At Microsoft, internal studies of GitHub Copilot showed that developers completed tasks up to 55% faster. Many of those tasks included writing and refining code that junior employees typically handle. Similar gains are now seen in data workflows, where AI assists with queries and transformations. The result is a sharp reduction in time spent on foundational tasks. So companies rely on fewer people. Those people use better tools. From a business perspective, this makes sense. Why hire and train someone for tasks that no longer require the same effort? Why spend months onboarding a new employee? The same tasks can now be completed immediately. This approach increases efficiency. It reduces cost. It improves speed. In the short term, it works, but there is a consequence. If fewer people enter at the beginning, fewer gain experience over time. That changes the workforce. You can already see early signs. Job postings now ask for more experienced roles at once. Required none now require yours. Internships are more competitive. Some disappear, teams operate with fewer people, not because they are overloaded, because the work itself has changed. Nothing dramatic happens. There is no collapse. It becomes harder to enter. The barrier rises quietly. We have spent years asking what AI will replace, which jobs are at risk, which roles are safe. Those questions assume the structure stays the same. That assumption no longer holds. The system itself is shifting. It changes how people enter. The risk is not only job loss. The risk is fewer people getting the chance to start. If that continues, the impact builds slowly. The system still functions, but access becomes limited. We are not just watching jobs change. We are watching access change. And that may be the more important shift. The question was never which jobs AI would take. The question is who never gets the chance to find out.